start, and if I feel like it's not picking up, then I'll start it out. But
Okay.
until you start, I won't know how loud it's actually
Yeah.
working.
How's this?
Hopefully it's alright.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to everyone. A special welcome to NIFTY Northwest. We are really, really happy to welcome you all to Temple Shalom. I'm Rabbi Carrie Brown. If I haven't met you yet, I'm really delighted you're here. If I have met you before because you're a member of our congregation, welcome to a different style of service than we typically have on Shabbat here. Those of you who have spent time in Jewish youth group or Jewish camp will kind of recognize some of our tunes and the feel of the service. But really what's one of the most exciting things about this service is that it's really going to be completely teen-led by our NIFTY Northwest Regional Board and our MARVI, our Temple Shalom youth group, and we're really just thrilled to be hosting. So I'm going to turn this over to Jonah, who's the RCVP, the Religious and Cultural Vice President of our region, to lead our service.
The call to justice and brotherhood. Justice, justice shall you pursue, that you may live in your land. Love your neighbor as yourself, hate not your brother in your heart. If a stranger sojourns with you, he shall be as the native among you. You shall love him as yourself, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Have we not all one Father? Has not one God created us? Why then do we deal treacherously, a man against his brother? Give of your bread to the hungry, bring the poor that are cast out to your house. Hate evil and love what is good, ye establish justice in the land. Let justice well up as water, and righteousness as a mighty stream. For righteousness and justice are the foundation of God's throne. The Lord of hosts is exalted through righteousness, and God the Holy One is sanctified through justice.
Amen. Thank you.
We cannot merely pray to you, O God, to end war, for we know that you have made the world in a way that man must find his own path to peace, within himself and with his neighbor. We cannot merely pray to you, O God, to end starvation, for you have already given us the resources with which to feed the entire world, if we would only use them wisely. We cannot merely pray to you, O God, to root out prejudice, for you have already given us eyes with which to see the good in all men, if we could only use them rightly. We cannot merely pray to you, O God, to end despair, for you have already given us the power to clear away slums and to give hope, if we would only use our power justly. We cannot merely pray to you, O God, to end disease, for you have already given us great minds with which to search out cures and healings, if we would only use them constructively. Therefore, we pray to you instead, O God, for strength, determination, and willpower, to do instead of just to pray, to become instead of merely to wish. For your sake and for ours, speedily and soon, that our land may be safe, and that our lives be blessed. May the words that we pray and the deeds that we do be acceptable before you, O Lord, our rock and our Redeemer.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may live in peace and rise up into waiting to do your will.
Thank you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevig Geulah Livnei V'neihem Leman Shemo Be'ava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei Metim Atah Rav Lehoshia Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechayei Metim Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot Umidom Elach Melech Memit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'emanat halachayot metim Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei hametim. Page 170. Atah kadosh
Yeshicha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom hayuchasera Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
Amen.
That's off. Thank you. I'd like to invite up AC Feldman to help us with our prayer for peace. Oh, sit down. Sorry. Oh.
Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message. To all the people of the earth, bless our country and a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, eternal one, who bless the people with peace. Hebrew one?
Thank you. All right, I'd like to invite up Evan Laurent, the president of Marvin, to help us with a little lesson, little morals. Just use the mic.
Interesting. This is the story of a cruel mother, her daughter, and her blind son. He was not a son she loved, and without a spouse to help provide for them, her son was a burden she eventually grew to hate. While she and her daughter ate delicious bear meat in the warmth of their hut, she fed her son dog meat and forced him to live alone, out on the cold porch. But her son wasn't always blind. Before he lost his sight, he had been a great hunter. Now he was made to feel pathetic and worthless. Frustrated with his life, the boy waited for spring. He asked his sister, "Has the lake ice melted yet?" "Yes," she replied. "And have the red-throated loons returned yet?" he asked. "Yes, they're back," she said. Knowing what he had to do, the boy asked his sister to take him to the lake. He crawled to the edge of the water and drank deeply. Just as he had hoped, a loon came to him. The loon told him that it was his very own mother who caused him to go blind. Having lost her husband, she came to resent her son, and seeking revenge, she rubbed dirty whale fat in his eyes while he slept, and cursed him with blindness. The loon told him that it could help him see again. All he would have to do was climb onto its back. The loon dived deep, and when it surfaced, asked, "Can you see anything?" "I'm starting to see light," he answered. The loon took another dive, this time deeper than the first. "How about now?" the loon asked. "It's getting clearer. I can see some forms now." The loon dived deeper than ever before and asked, "Can you see those little grasses that are growing way off into the distance?" "Yes, I can see every one," the boy replied triumphantly. "There, now you can see as well as a loon." The boy thanked the loon and went on his way. Once he got back to camp, his mother realized that his curse had been broken. Nervously, she asked, "Would you like something good to eat?" "Dog meat?" the boy scoffed. "No thanks, I'll feed myself." As summer approached, the sea ice opened, and the boy went hunting for whale. Not wanting to be pulled into the water by a harpooned whale, he had his sister hold onto a rope around his waist. Seeing what fun her children were having, the mother asked if she could try it herself. Unaware that her son was blinded by revenge, she trusted him as he tied the rope around her waist and held it tightly in his hands. "That's a good one," he told his mother. She threw the harpoon, and it planted firmly into the whale. But he had tricked her. The whale was too massive for a single person to take down. Seizing his chance for revenge, he let go of the rope. The very last sound his cruel mother made sounded like glugging and gulping for air. From then on, she became known as Lumayu. Underwater, Lumayu's braided hair twisted so tightly that it turned into a tusk, and slowly, she turned into a narwhal. Just like his mother's, the boy's act of revenge solved nothing and only led to a life of cruelty and suffering. And today, the narwhal will forever be a reminder that every act of revenge is a link in a chain that can only be broken by forgiveness. This lesson is not unique to the Inuit people. Ultimatums between forgiveness and revenge are present in the Torah too. When Joseph was a teenager, his older brothers felt threatened by him and plotted against him to send him to Egypt. Years passed, and Joseph became a high-ranking official. Eventually, he came across his brothers, trying to buy grain from him. He recognized him, but they didn't know him. The brothers of Joseph were starving. They had been in a famine for 2 years, and Joseph was presented with a very similar choice to the boys in the story of Lumayu. He could either leave his brothers to starve in an act of revenge for all that they had done to him years ago, or he could show them kindness and support them in their time of need. Often, as engaged members of society, we are faced with these types of situations. Just recently, Kevin Hart was chosen to host the Oscars, but he was forced out due to 10-year-old tweets. In situations like this, we are able to make at least two decisions. We can punish him, saying that there's no way that anybody who's ever held these beliefs deserves the success he's gotten. Or we can acknowledge that it's been 10 years since he made these jokes and that he's learned from and embraced the mistakes of his past. Joseph chose to forgive and saved his brothers in an act of kindness, while Lumayu's son chose to take revenge and perpetuate a cycle of cruelty. So the next time you're confronted with the opportunity for vengeance, think twice about how you act and what message it sends. As the saying goes, to err is human, but to forgive is divine. Thank you.
All right, I'd like to invite back up Rabbi Moss to Alenu and our closing.
We're going to do some announcements first.
Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to Temple Shalom. Before I invite Larry Bloom, the president of our men's club, to share some announcements tonight, first, a tremendous thank you to all of those that have been involved in planning this incredible weekend. We are truly honored to host you, particularly to Phil Angel, our Marvy advisor. I know that Phil has been hard at work at this, and to Rabbi Brown as well, the two of you working together on this incredible weekend, and to our Marvy board. Really, you guys are tremendous. There was a moment that happened in our services. I'm not quite sure if you caught it. I think our temple members did, but maybe not some of our guests. When we came to the Shema, the custom in our congregation is to remain seated during the Shema. The custom in other congregations is to remain standing, or to stand, and in most congregations they argue over it. But what happened in that moment is the NIFTY kids stood up, because that's the custom in the majority of your congregations, I'm sure. And then our congregation stood with you, because there's a Jewish tradition called Minhag HaMakom, and that is you follow the custom of the place. Now, normally that would have meant that you would have remained seated, because that would have been the custom of our place. But you outnumber us. But it was a remarkable thing, because in that moment you changed the custom of this place. And that's what youth can do. You can change the custom not only of a place, but of a people. And what is so transformative about this weekend is that it is not only the future, but it is the present as well. And I mean that in both intentions of that word. It is present in time, and it is present in the sense of gift. You give us a tremendous gift. Those of us that sit in these chairs every Friday, every Shabbos, to see you in them inspires us. To see you take our tradition and our melodies and make them your own inspires us and comforts us and lets us know that this sacred tradition that we all cherish so much is in good hands and good hearts. I am a rabbi because of my experience in my youth group. My kids go to Camp Kalsman and speak about it all year long because of the experiences they have with all of you and your advisors. You are a present to us. You are a gift, and anytime you want to come and change our minhag, you are welcome to do it. It's my pleasure to invite Larry Bloom, our president of our men's club, to come share some announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm president of the men's club, but it's a tradition in our shul, in our synagogue, that members of our board come forward throughout the year and read announcements, and that's why I'm here tonight. By the way, with all due respect to our wonderful Rabbi Dan and Rabbi Brown, this has to be one of my favorite services ever. It's just amazing. Come back next week. Anyway, it seems kind of weird, to be honest with you. Oh, by the way, it's one of my favorite services ever because I was a high school teacher. So now I wish I hadn't retired, to be honest with you. Rather flooding back. But anyway, it seems a little weird to be standing up here, an old guy like me, talking to such energy and youth and so on. So what I would like to do is call up Evan again, who also sits on our board as our Marvy representative. Seems much more fitting. And Evan has agreed to alternate announcements with me, if that's okay. So, Evan, do you want to take the first one?
Sure. Join us for our very first Shabbat Kavanah on Friday, February 1st at 5:30 p.m., featuring guitar, drums, inspiring new melodies, and a casual vibe. No RSVP required. 5:30 p.m., wine and cheese and snacks for kids. 6 to 7 p.m., musical service. No 8:15 p.m. service.
Thanks for putting the pressure on me. It was pretty good. Molly Bernstein, Israel, head of mission in Lesbos, Greece, will present her talk on unpacking the global refugee crisis during our Saturday morning service on February the 2nd at 10 a.m. See our website for more info.
The Men's Club and Sisterhood jointly present Crystal Dos Santos and the Lovemakers in concert on Saturday, February 9th at 8 p.m. for a night of music and hors d'oeuvres. Everyone welcome. Cost $36. Register on our website.
New to Temple Shalom is our 8-week Wise Aging program, which will help meet the challenges of aging and find opportunities for deeper meanings and new joys. If you're interested, attend the information session on Sunday, February the 10th at 1:30 p.m. Call the office or register online.
Our next Prodi Family Share Day is Friday, February 15th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Join us this time for scrapbooking and card making for residents of the Louis Brier. Cost $10 per child. Register online.
Support Sisterhood's Feasting for Funds by signing up online for the final meal, a Texas-style dinner on Saturday, February 23rd. Only 2 spots left. Cost $50. Any questions, contact Risa Devlin at icloud.com or her phone number's in your program.
Calling for our Kitchen Club volunteers in February. Do you enjoy cooking and/or baking? The Sisterhood and Men's Club have joined forces and are looking for volunteers to join our Kitchen Club. Go to templeshalom.ca/ourkitchenclub for further details.
Finally, your opinion matters to us. If you haven't yet, please take a moment to complete the 2019 Temple Shalom and URJ survey online at templeshalom.ca, templeshalom/account. Thank you, class, and
Larry, I totally would have been in your high school class. That would have been fantastic. We rise as we turn to Eleno, page 586. Eleno l'shabeach l'adon hakol l'tet gidula liotze breshit shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama shelo sam chelkenu kachem וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. 588. שהוא נוטה שמיים ועושה לארץ, ומושב יקרום בשמיים ממעל, וכשילתו זו בגבי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך. אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Please be seated. A reading before the mourner's Kaddish. Page 583. In the rising of the sun and its going down, we remember them. In the blowing of the wind and the chill of winter, we remember them. In the opening of buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. In the blueness of the sky and in the warmth of summer, we remember them. In the rustling of leaves and the beauty of autumn, we remember them. In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them. So long as they live, we too shall live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them. And so on this Shabbat, we recall those who died during this past week, these past 30 days, whose families are in the midst of Shiva and Shloshim. As is the custom, the minhag in our congregation, as I read the name of your loved one, if you could rise and remain standing so we can comfort you in our midst. Nathan Bross Battalion, Brad Bowen, Manfred Karsh, Richard Goldberg, Neil Ornstein, Misha Pollack, Judah Schulmacher, Livy Timko, Merv Weinstock. And those for whom the Yortzeit, the anniversary of the death of your loved one, falls on this Shabbat, if you too could rise as I read their name. Dan Balin, Sidney Joshua Becker, Anna Bild, Esther Dason, Leah Eskenazi, Ruth Feinberg, Jean Fiedler, Risa Garadanza, Yitzhak Garfinkel, Charles Gold, Kitty Heller, Alec Holzberg, Zainatin Ilisov. How do you pronounce that first name? I did okay? Okay, I wasn't sure. Charles Gold, Edith Jaffe, Jean Jenkins, Eric Katz, Saul Court, Gerald Crivel, Harry Levin, Alexander Lipton, Blanche Manis, Arthur Marin, Frank Ognestoff, Rose Petchett, Ethel Polsons, Leon Harvey Ratner, Elsa Reback, Rosa Rostas, Zvi Schneider, Charles Schoem, Clara Siegel, Rhoda Chandler, Louis Schiffman, Frank Schillender, Susan Shore, Philip Singer, Igborg Strade, George Street, Mary Tenenbaum, Fred Walker. If there's others who've come to say Kaddish, remember loved ones, if you could rise and share their name in the midst of our congregation as well. And I include our guests from NIFTY as well. If you have someone to say Kaddish for, please rise and share their name. We look around our congregation, we see those that have stood in mourning. We don't want them to stand alone. So we rise now, standing by their side, providing the comfort of our presence as we recall all of those who've died in defense of freedom and justice, those victims of terror in this land, the land of Israel, around the world, as well as those who died in the Shoah and the Holocaust that have no family left to remember them or recall them for blessing. Page 598. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, b'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'hayeh l'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'yimaru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lamei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisha brichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, daminron be'alma v'yimaru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimaru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yal kol yoshvei tevel v'yimaru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort the bereaved among us, and we say together, amen. Kiddush? We'll remain standing. We turn to page 120. No, not 120. Yes, 120. As we join in a Kiddush and a Motzi. I don't think we have enough glasses for everybody. Yeah, so let's invite the Marvi board to come up and join us for Kiddush, and the NIFTY regional board, those members that are here, to join us as well. And anybody who has not yet had a bar or bat mitzvah, who might want some grape juice, Esty and Levi and Sienna, if you're still awake, guys, come on over. Come get. Vayhi erev vayhi boker yom hashishi vayachulu hashamayim v'aretz v'kol tziva'am vayachol Elohim b'yom hashvi melachto asher asa vayishbot b'yom hashvi mikol melachto asher asa vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi v'yakadesh oto kivo shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asod. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishan b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hidchilanu zikaron lemaseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol amim ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon Hinchatanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mikadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim. Evan, you want to hold up the challah?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
We join our closing song.
All right, thank you all so much for participating. You all can sit down. You guys are good. I'm sorry I didn't introduce them at the beginning, but this is Noah and Avi, and they're amazing song leaders for NIFTY Northwest. If you guys all are wondering, this is our NIFTY Northwest Social Action Kallah. So we're going to be going out into the community and making some real action, making a real difference. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up my words. Taking action. Yes. Without further ado, I'd like to invite up Zane Harbison to introduce what we are doing next. Is there something that the congregation wants to do?
If you're not in NIFTY, please head to the social hall for our Oneg Shabbat. If you are in NIFTY, stay seated. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Thank you. What's up?
I need the Vancouver kids to stay here just for 2 seconds after for a photo.
After the mixer? Or
Are you doing the mixer immediately now?
I mean, I'm gonna take like a short 5-minute break so I can talk to the group leaders, but yeah.
Cool. That's fine.
Okay. What should
Right, so the schedule's changed, that's all. So
Okay,
the
yeah.
plan now is mixers are happening
Yep.
for like next
45 minutes around,
in
yeah.
this room?
No, they'll be upstairs in the classrooms.
Okay, so
Yes.
before, when we're leaving,
Yep.
Vancouver kids are going to stay behind
You
for
got
5
it.
seconds.
Okay, sounds